Ashleigh.
And I'm Curtis.
And together we're Information Lane. Welcome to episode number 9.
That's right. Welcome.
Happy Monday. I hope everyone's having or had a great weekend.
That's right.
We just wanted to come on here and talk to you about end of summer fun.
That's right. Start your week off with a little bit of positivity. And by I say positivity, here's Mike.
He joins the party. Everybody's getting ready for back to school stuff. We want to do some follow-up talk as well. What's been happening last couple of weeks. Everybody's prepared to go back to school or getting ready to go back to school. Our kids go back August 10th. So it's in the final stretches. Those little babies go back.
That's right. And we're going to talk about the 5 Ps. You know, that stands for proper preparation prevents poor performance. And that's Seizure action plan. Let's get it in place.
And we want to be interactive with you guys. So if you wouldn't mind dropping in the chat right now where you're watching us from and when your babies are going back to school, let us know so we can shout out prayers for you because we know you're all going to need it.
Let's give you a shout out. Drop in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Happy August to everyone.
That's right.
We hope you have a great month, the last month of summer. Hopefully the best month of summer for you. Gonna get all the beach time, all the sun time, all of that in we can before it is back to school and all of that. I am ready for the weather break myself.
Oh,
it's
same here. Same. Our favorite season is fall, and our favorite holiday-ish type thing is October, Halloween. So it's also Curtis's birthday. He's going to be 50 this year.
Oh, big 5-0 in the good manner.
Don't tell everybody.
It's
that's
creeping
right.
up.
See what I'm saying? Like a fine wine. You never know. You never tell.
That's hilarious.
I wouldn't say wine. I would say a good cognac.
And that's the key.
That's right. That's right. VSOP, baby.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, it's been a crazy summer. I love the fact, man, we've launched the podcast this year.
Yes.
That's going to be an epic historic thing for the rest of our lives is that we started that.
Yeah.
This summer really brought us together, brought the team, the whole fam together. Really blessed for that as well.
Right.
Yeah,
really
like that's what we did for our summer was we did a podcast and we started this journey. Let us know in the chat what you did exciting this summer.
That's right. And shout out to Ashleigh and Rose, of course, my power and my strength. Amen. Thank God for you guys.
Yeah,
absolutely. I wanted to shout out to Ashleigh. I got to, we all do a podcast together on Friday nights, but, being the producer and having, 6, 7, 8, 9 people on, I really rarely get to actually talk to anyone, other than kind of, the brief interactions and dropping a comment here and there. And I got to talk to Ashleigh a little bit last night. Just ask her a couple of questions, about like what she's into and stuff. It was really cool. I didn't know she was into dance and that kind of stuff. She's a very creative person. So
into axe throwing. So watch out.
Axe throwing.
Don't be a target.
Yeah, absolutely. At the axe throwing. So shout out Ashleigh from the producer. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your life to show up, make the show better. And we got to get you on this show as well as soon as possible. Yes.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned for the Howl episode.
That's right. The Howl episode. Remember we told
Let's go.
Breaking news.
The breaking news.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, man, summer's been special. It's been interesting. Look, July was a very challenging month, I think, for it's crazy everybody on the team. I feel like July was a tough one. I feel like it was a tester month. Like, are you going to make it through? You got to make it through because if you do make it through, it'll be so great on the other side. And, here we are, man, killing it. And I appreciate that so much. I'm glad August is here and in full swing. I'm glad we're going to get back into the groove of some of our things, man. I'm excited about what we also have coming up. I did want to ask, something I wanted to talk about. I was at a party, friend's birthday party, and, it's hard to hide. Like, okay, so I'll say it like this. Like, it's hard to do 2 podcasts and be part of 10,000 groups over, you know what I mean? Over several groups, 10,000 members and people in your everyday life kind of not know you struggle with seizures and epilepsy, right? It's just kind of right? Not hiding it. You're the guy that does that Seizure podcast a lot of the time, you know? Oh, yeah, that's cool. I'm sure you guys get that too now.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, it's one of those, you might get treated differently, or people look at you, you know, they're like, oh, you have epilepsy, and it's almost like, you know, is it contagious, or don't touch him, I don't want to catch it.
Right.
Yeah, in fact, one time Curtis left his drink on the table and I drank out of it, and our daughter was just like, that was Dad's drink. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, you're going to get epilepsy. I was like, Iso, that is not how you get epilepsy, sweetheart.
Yeah.
So there's so many misconceptions out there, and we would love to clear the air on those. That's right.
Hey, and one day she'll come on the show. Right now she's a little scary Larry, but she'll get on eventually.
Yeah. So yeah, we'd like to clear up some of those misconceptions of people. I mean, they think that epilepsy is contagious. It's not. You either get it from many different ways. Curtis happened to get his from a traumatic brain injury from childhood. Mike, how did you find out you had epilepsy, or what was the cause of yours?
Same. I had a, injury, concussion, blow to the head, and so right temporal and
Right.
When Curtis was first diagnosed, I remember very vividly one of the first conversations that him and I had leaving that doctor's office is we both thought that was something you get from childbirth. Like, we just thought that it was
you're naturally born with it.
Right.
Well, some people are. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, some
people are. But
we never thought 40 years into your life you could get epilepsy.
At 48, so that was the scary part. When you find out at 48, you're thinking you're going to go into the best years of your life, and you think now that the best years were in front of you, but little did we know the best years came after epilepsy.
It's when your story just really starts. Right. There's a big, I don't know even how to describe it, a rumor, some different things going around on the internet and on social media, on the news. They're saying that the COVID vaccination is causing epilepsy in some people. What do you guys think about that?
I don't really put too much thought into it, because I don't think
it's hard.
That's one of those things.
I don't know.
I'm waiting for this.
I literally don't know.
My doctor doesn't even know the right meds to put me on to keep me as healthy as possible and keep me off seizures. You know what I mean?
I said the same thing.
We can go back and forth now. Hey, look, man, I literally know guys who are professional fighters that get hit in the head literally all day, every day by people way more bad than the dude who hit me in the head, and they don't get seizures. Okay. Right. True story. NFL players, you know what I mean? Professional UFC fighters, and they don't get epilepsy, right? And sometimes they do. And I know folks that have a bad fall, and sometimes it happens. So, man, I just think that everyone is so different. Our genomes and our makeups and the world we live in, with the air we breathe and the chemicals we ingest and what we get, the vaccines we get put in at birth, which I'm not saying aren't good and effective and any of that. I'm just saying they might make us more susceptible or sensitive to other things. Who knows? I don't. But what I'm saying is, it's not an exact science. And is there the possibility that introducing a new thing into certain people's system could cause dormant epilepsy symptoms to be triggered? Yes. I believe that possibly could be the case. You know what I'm saying? Do I have hard facts, and am I ready to fight for 10 years on Facebook with somebody else about it? No. I'll never know. I know, and neither will they, quite honestly. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'll never
Medicine
ever
and
know
science
that.
Because I'm in the same boat with you. Whenever I went to the neurologist for the first time, after I had my second seizure, he prescribed me medicine, but he didn't know what type of epilepsy I had. So I was a little worried.
He just knew he had seizures.
Because I never took meds. You know what I mean? So I was like, wow. I said, how are you going to put me on medicine? You don't know what type of epilepsy I have. He was like, oh, well, this is usually what happens. I said, well, what are my triggers? I don't know. I was like, well, what? You're a professional now. I paid you good money for you to tell me I don't know 3 times and give me pills.
And then, one of our biggest concerns too with any medication are, what is the list of side effects? Am I going to be pooping my brains out all day long? Am I going to be nauseous? So Curtis is not one of those people like does the holistic thing. He's not one of those people that likes to take medication, period, end of conversation.
Your body's built to heal itself.
So when he even has a
situation.
When he has a headache, I mean, I think the first time he ever took a Tylenol was at 48 years old. And it was because it was after one of his first or second seizures that his head was pounding so bad with that, you know, a lot of you experience those days on end headaches after seizures or before. Curtis was like, I just can't do this anymore. And he had taken a couple Tylenol. And then there was another time he wasn't feeling well. He was sick. I think he was coming down with a bug or something. And we messaged the doctor and they were like, max dose 3,000 milligrams of ibuprofen or Tylenol, switch between the two. And he was just like, I'll take that, but I'm not taking any other medicine.
But that's part of, like I said, part of that, what we're talking about, the stigma of epilepsy. People don't tell you anything. You have to just assume for yourself. And then you start hearing this, you hear that, you get TV, oh, this person, every time you think of a seizure, you think of everybody dropping on the ground, you know what I mean? And that's not the truth.
Or flashing lights.
And for me, like, that is the crucial part of this mission, is to explain to people everyone is different. Everyone doesn't have the same epilepsy. You might heal different than I do, but the world must know that there are different types. And if you don't get educated, how can you help someone?
Right. So it's really important to know what your triggers are, and it's important to inform the people around you about it and have open, candid conversations. Because if you don't, that stigma is going to forever be around. And then it's up to us, the epileptic community and the caregivers, to help break that stigma and the misinformation that people think. You know, they're like, oh, we can't invite you to this event because there's going to be flashing lights or loud music. Some people, that's not even their trigger, you know, and they think, or even just a barbecue. Oh, it's going to be hot outside. He can't be outside in the heat. Curtis works outside in South Florida at feels like 109 degrees. Okay.
They should just say that.
So there's so many misconceptions, and it's just misinformation about it. That's know.
And you just got to follow your safety plan. You know what I mean? You got to know what your body can take. If you have triggers, you have to follow that program. You got to follow the plan. And a lot of people don't know about it, but a seizure action plan will save your life, especially in a situation where you're around people who don't know you. You got to keep that little card in your pocket or get you the ID chain that goes around your neck, because if something happens, you need emergency contacts, and you don't want to lay there and wait for someone to come help you. Or
like Curtis did, lay there and let the ambulance come and shoot you with Narcan because they think you're having a drug overdose.
But you definitely need to list your triggers, because a lot of people don't know. Well, he might not be triggered by flashing light, but he might be triggered by loud noises, or, you know, just have a random seizure. You know what I mean? No one knows when they're coming. They just come. And but what doesn't come is the right support. So after you have a seizure, some people say, oh, he's possessed. Oh, they do this, they do that. And it's not. It's a medical condition, and people need to be more compassionate and helpful versus building the stigma that everyone with epilepsy is something's wrong with them.
One of the other things that I would love to talk about is the postitical stage. A lot of epileptic patients are very combative after having a seizure. And so if the ambulance is called, or if you're out in public and the police are called because you're in a restaurant somewhere and you're having a seizure and that postitical stage comes and you are combative, then I've seen so many stories posted on everywhere that, oh, my husband was arrested because the cops thought he was drunk and he was cursing and screaming at people and punching them. It's very important to know your body and to know what type of state you're in. And that's why it's important, like Curtis mentioned, to wear one of those tags that tell them that you have epilepsy, because they will then know he does have epilepsy and this could be that. But I think other than educating the teachers in the schools, we need to educate our emergency response team, like 911 and police officers. They need to be educated way more than what the education they're receiving, because I can't tell you how many people and how many stories I've heard of people having seizures out in public and being combative and then getting arrested. That is horrible. That breaks my heart.
That's right. Gotta get it together.
And I'm so glad you brought that up, Ashleigh. I have this that I want to pull up, and this is just post-seizure risks, right? And stuff we should look into. Of course, this is immediate is choking, has a residual muscle weakness, and confusion can impair swallowing, making it critical to avoid giving food or drink until the person is fully alert and oriented. Of course, physical injury, as you know, we're pretty much not coordinated for the first few minutes after any seizure that I've experienced. Maybe some folks are. I normally am not at all. And most folks I've talked to are not. Then what you said, aggression. Reactive aggression may occur if bystanders attempt to restrain a confused or agitated individual, potentially leading to harm for both the patient and those nearby.
That happened one time.
You're not going to try to grab a tiger. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah. Something I
but
think
we were new into that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And something I think it's important to point out that a lot of people, it surprises me, they don't know when I talk to them, is that we don't know when we have a seizure. Most of the people I talk to outside of our world are surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
They don't know. They don't realize that we have no clue. And that we come out of a seizure, we have no idea what just happened, in the same way that when you get knocked out and you come to, a lot of times that fighter is still, he has no idea he had been knocked out. You know what I mean? We have no idea what just happened, where we are, that kind of thing. Unless you get a lot of seizures and you wake up in, like, you know, a hospital, or a lot of times the back of an ambulance, you get used to it. You're like, I had a seizure again, didn't I, guys? And they're like,
Curtis knows he had a seizure when he had
a Band-Aid on my finger. Well, there's a Band-Aid.
But let me ask that, since you just brought that topic up, Mike. After a seizure, what is one of the signs that you do know that something, you woke up and something is different? Other than Amy hovering over you, like I hover over Curtis, how do you feel different? Like Curtis will wake up and he's a little confused.
Yeah, always I'm in pain. You know, that, as we say, that ass kicking from the inside, it's just hard to explain, but I'm always in pain. I was lucky. Last time I didn't really bite my tongue so bad. Time before that, it was brutal. You know, and I knew because my tongue was just shredded. Last seizure didn't really happen so bad, thankfully. It was a more mild one last time. As far as physical, yeah. But normally you wake up, you feel beat up, but a different kind of beat up. You know, it's not like, oh, you know what I mean? I can put a little bandage on this and it's like, oh, I'm beat up from the ends. It's like,
it's like muscles you didn't know you had hurt.
Like, I'm just gonna have to do it the hard way. You know, it's like, oh well, next couple of days just gonna be the hard way. Pour me a hot bath. You know, it's just what it is. You know what I mean? Bust out the ice cream. I'm treating myself. That's how I do it. But anyway, the reactive aggression, and then the postitical psychosis, which is interesting, and something to be on the lookout for, and that is a rare but serious condition involving delusions, hallucinations, or paranoia that can emerge hours or days after the seizure, carrying a high risk of suicide requiring immediate medical intervention.
Right.
That breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And I don't know how rare that is, because I can say I've heard that. I know it's only anecdotal, but I've heard about that more often than not with a lot of brothers and sisters in our
Curtis had that, and his January seizure that he had, that was Curtis. That was the one and only time that he ever had any type of negative towards feeling. Normally it's just very emotional and sore, and then like depressed or disappointed. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind the hallucinations, you know, come out of a seizure and see like ooh, that's a pink unicorn. Awesome.
Tiger.
Exactly.
Uncle Grandpa. Shout out.
Let's go. Uncle Grandpa, let's go. Take a ride on the magic bus.
Yeah, he said, good morning.
Junction. What's your
that's the kush you guys are smoking, okay?
This is the problem when we don't come in with show topics. All right, and then status. I've not heard of this either. Status epilepticus. If a second seizure occurs before full recovery, or if confusion persists beyond typical limits, 1 hour or so, it may indicate a medical emergency requiring urgent care, and that might referred to also seizure clusters, which, as we know, are also very common in about 70% of all epileptics and seizure sufferers. You have more than one when you do have a seizure situation.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's something to watch out for as well. So, yeah, man. Just doing our duty.
That's right.
The post-critical stage.
That information
Lane. That stuff is very important. I learned, you know what I mean? I appreciate Ashleigh because I wanted to just pull. Yeah, man, I wanted to pull that up, but pulling that up, it gave us more info. So thank you.
Yeah, it's just important. Like I feel there's a woman who posted recently on Facebook that her husband was arrested. She's a single mom. He was the sole provider for their home, and she wanted to start a GoFundMe account to pay for their bills and all of these things. And my first initial reaction when Curtis and I talked about it is call his neurologist, tell his neurologist to call the police department and say, this man is epileptic. Like, he wasn't fighting you. So it's just really sad that certain things like that happen.
And not only that, that's the stigma. Just because a person used to be bad back in their older day, you know what I mean? It shouldn't affect this part of their life. And regardless of the fact, epilepsy is epilepsy. If a person is having a seizure, you have to do the research. That's why it's so important that the world get on board, because you're putting people in jail who need medical attention and you don't understand why. Mm-hmm. But if you got the awareness and the education, this world would take off the way it should and not put people in predicaments. And think about this. People with epilepsy can barely work. So now this kid is going to jail. He's got to pay fees, mortgage, feed the kids. Something's got to give.
Right. Exactly. There was recently a partisan, I think, that was just approved. So there's a bill that's going around, which I'm trying to find right now so we can pull that up. But there is a partisan that was just done, and it was presented to the Senate and it passed. So it's on its way for the epilepsy education that we've been speaking about to be,
available.
Yes, available. Thank you.
But it takes us people. It takes everyone. We have to put these things into work ourselves. No one's coming to save us. So that's why I think it's so hard that we dig in now. If we dig in now and we put up our front, no one can break the chains. You know what I mean? Like, we have to stick together in this. And if you want to be recognized as a name and instead of a number, we got to rise together.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. And I think I think communication is so important, man. We get to a point where we have to stand up and we have to let people know that we're more than capable. We can do a lot of things. We can do some amazing things. And
Yeah, so I found the article. Epilepsy Foundation of America on July 23rd. I just sent it to you, Mike, if you'd like to pull it up. Exciting news. The Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pension, which is abbreviation is HELP, committee passed the National Plan for Epilepsy Act S-494 during yesterday's markup. Read the Senate Epilepsy Caucus of Co-Chairs press release here. This was a crucial step, and we want to thank all of you advocates out there, us and everybody else on the podcast that watch that are advocating for epilepsy. Now the bill must continue to make its way to the full Senate House, and there's a link in the thing. So we've posted this on our page.
And now's the time. Now is the time. Now we got somebody who's actually speaking for us where it counts, and that's where the education is going to come from, because we together can't put our money together and do it. The government has to do it. The government has to help us. They have to put the right medication out. They have to put the right research out. They got to put the right doctors in place. These are the things that, as Americans, and not only Americans, but people across the world, this is what we've been waiting for. Every time you sit in your house and you say, man, I wish there was a commercial on TV. Man, I wish they understood where we were coming from. Now is the time. And I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart. I'll take this mission on by myself, but I'd rather take it on with you. You know what I mean? But I'm still going to go into battle. This is the moment. This is our time. We're going to walk the battlefield.
Yeah, these people have been, that have been doing this for for National Plan of Epilepsy Act is what it's called. They've really been pushing. I follow it as much as I can. When I see it, I try to check on it all the time. But it's very important for us to continue to be loud and very voiceful, so that they know that there's people that need to be heard. And if we have our government behind us, that's just so much more power.
And a lot of times people get it confused with colors when it comes to politics. I push policy, not the person. If you think about it, the people who are going to war for us, are they really doing that? If that was the case, why is epilepsy so silent? You know, and they have pills that they can give you. So obviously someone's doing research. They've put money behind something. What stalled it? What put epilepsy behind everything else? When there's more people that have epilepsy than most other brain dysfunctions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why?
Yeah. So that's the bill.
And those are questions. Now, it's an open-ended question. So if anybody has any answers, please chime in, because there's community, there's families, there's caregivers, there's people with epilepsy that are dying to understand what the problem is, or why did they separate us from the rest of the medical professionals. We don't get it. But now that we have a voice, we will.
And I think, you know, a couple things, just like, you know, there are so many things we don't talk about that our doctors don't tell us. There are things that our communities, we could do a better job, just to be honest, you know what I mean? But like omega-3s. Omega-3s are key, you know. Methylene blue has not, once again, this is not for everyone.
Yeah.
We know epileptics that will tell you, including myself, this helps me. You know what I mean? Is anything foolproof? For me, no. Not the doctor's medicine, not just the omega-3s. But when I'm taking everything regularly, I'm doing really well. And I notice I go long periods without seizures. So, yeah, man. You know, we don't talk about the keto diet was literally developed for epileptics. You know, there are different things we should be talking about more, communicating more.
Amen.
I really feel like,
and outreach. We got to get out into the communities. Like, we have to get out. We have to reach these communities that's not getting touched. Like, these are places that need the help the most, and especially overseas. There's people in other countries that have epilepsy also, and they're treated different because the world has taught them that it's a negative, you know, and it's not. You know, these people are special. They're one of a kind. You'll never meet another person like a person with epilepsy, because they're having their own journey. Everyone has their own journey. They're not cookie cutter. Everybody is built from a different cloth, but it's all over the world. And there's a lot of people who are suffering. There's a lot of homes who are suffering. There's a lot of kids who suffer from bullying, not being able to compete in certain things, or being left out of work because they have an ailment. And that's what we got to change about the world. There are people too. You know what I mean?
I saw an article.
Land of the free, home of the brave.
I'm in an epilepsy group with parents, and I'm in it because I'm not a parent of an epileptic. I'm a spouse and a caregiver of one, but my daughter is. So I want to be able to give her advice to my daughter, so that she can understand if she's got questions and things of how parents talk to their children about, you know, having epilepsy and things like that. So there was one that I'd seen that I loved. It was this young lady's son who is 14. He's in high school, and he has this strong desire to play football. And the mom and the doctors have suggested that's not the best decision because he has epilepsy. His triggers are not heat. He does not have TBI. He was born with it. But he still wants to be a kid, and he still wants to do those things, right? So the compromise was, well, you can't play tackle, but we can get you in flag football. So he's playing flag football, and he's thriving. So like, where they tell you can't, don't listen to that. You can.
Get out there and play flag football.
That's right. So he's living his life, and he's still being able to enjoy a sport that he loves so much. And that in itself, the story just fulfilled my heart, because it's so heartbreaking when kids have to sit on the sidelines and watch because they have a disability.
Right. Well, and not only that, just get outside, take them outside, take them, go outside. You know what I mean? Let people see you.
Yeah.
Let them know your
name.
We'll
find a sport. That's what we do. We have a whole show on Thursday nights where we just look for sports for people to have fun playing.
The rock, paper, scissors championship. We'll figure out something.
Yeah, we got him. You know, cheese rolling, you name it. We'll get him.
Button tossing, we'll figure it out.
Button tossing.
We got you. You know, let's see. What's funny is I'm sure that's a thing. Anyway, yeah, no. And that's what I wanted to ask you, like, Curtis, so legit, man, this is one of those straight up questions.
All right, shoot.
Have you experienced people treating you different, whether it be family, friends, coworkers, once it came out, once you kind of went public, with the fact that you have seizures, did people treat you differently? If so, how?
I don't
think
you
felt, and I'm sorry, and then just one last little follow up to it, man, before I let you ride. And then if you felt negativity coming from anyone, how did you address that? How did you handle that? How did you deal with those people?
All right. Well, at the end of this, people, you'll understand, like I have this gift, and at the end, I'll explain it to you. All right. It comes from being let down a whole lot. So there's a gift that I have. But in the beginning, yeah, people did treat me different. Some people, they asked a lot of questions, but they didn't want to hear the answers that I had to give. So they eventually started falling off, just like everybody who was along for the ride. When something bad happened, of course, they start dropping like flies because they think the game is over. But for me, it was the lack of support. It wasn't the fact that I was treated different. It was the lack of support, because I've always been like a one-man band,
a loner,
a lone wolf. But I had a group of people around. But the thing about this group of people was I was good while I was needed. Now, once I had an ailment and I came up with epilepsy, these same people folded like laundry. Seen them the first seizure. I've had 7 seizures, and have never seen them again. Now they call me family, and for me that was the shot. We wasn't real blood family, but we're family by nature, and it was one of those situations where you had to either pick your sanity or keep arguing with those people. So when I say they treated me different, they definitely did. They treated me like I was on an island. They didn't know how to deal with the situation, so they ran from it instead of staying and proving that they were really family. And the way I dealt with that is you have to have a mental funeral. Remember I said that. You have to have a mental funeral. That's how you get rid of the pain. You have to bury it. You got to let it go. You got to say a prayer for it. You got to put it in the ground. You got to move on, because the day does not stop. But yeah, people did treat me different. When I go out in public, they're like, are you okay? Do you need to sit here? Does the light bother you? No, it doesn't bother me. Like, it's not a trigger, none of that. Stress is a trigger. But a lot of people now, they do treat me different because I come with positivity now. So now they look to me for guidance. They look to me for wisdom, maybe prayer every now and then. And that's what epilepsy has really done for me. So yes, it has changed my life. People treat me different. The negative part I've dealt with, and it's gone and over. So now I'm only accepting the positive, and I'm giving it back to the people. So
you left out leadership, encouragement, wisdom, friendship. Right. You left out a couple things, but well,
I'm just humble.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. I'm just humble. I'm just doing what I was placed here to do. I'll never accept credit because I didn't do this by myself. But what I did do was step up and start the wave. Somebody at a baseball game has to go first before the thing goes around the stadium, and that's what I did. So now it's going around every country. Yeah, the wave has started. Let's get the wave. So put a wave in the comment box.
Yeah.
But people did treat me different, and now it's on the positive note. I'm reaching people. I'm surprising people. I'm bringing people to the light that felt so left in the dark. We're bringing communities like Ashleigh. She's my hero, love her to death. And we do this for her. You know what I mean? Not just her, but everyone like her. Epilepsy, any kind of disability, mental health. It's everywhere. I've been through everything. And let me tell you, I'm here for you.
Let me share a little quick story on a caregiver side too, and someone with SUDEP. I haven't experienced that, and I don't know what I would do if I lost a child, but Heather and I were talking recently. I know she had mentioned on another podcast last night, she was struggling recently at her granddaughter's birthday party. And then we talked a few days after that. Heather and I had talked about that as well. Do you feel like your friends as caregivers treat you differently because now you have someone you're caregiving for other than just being a spouse? And that it is a thing.
She shared that, by the way, last night on the feed every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
That's
you can
right.
find it actually on the Information Lane YouTube channel
Amen.
and
Shout
Facebook.
out to
Please
Enrique.
continue. Yes. And
Yeah.
shout out to Enrique, hosted by Enrique, co-hosted by Ashleigh and Curtis. Please continue.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry. I just wanted to make sure.
That's okay. So Heather and I were having a conversation, a personal conversation that I feel that I would love to share with you, and I'm sure Heather wouldn't mind as well. But she had said, you know, like, ever since Michaela died, my friends have like distanced from me, and I tried to offer some advice to her in that situation. And I said, you know, sometimes people just don't know how to deal with things that they don't go through. So when you haven't lost a child or go through something like that, or you're with someone who has epilepsy, you just don't know how, you feel like you have no connection, and people want to connect. So when you can't connect with that person that's going through that grief, and you think, oh, they're always crying, or they don't want to do this because all of these things, people start to distance themselves from you. That is another misconception. That is the worst thing to do. The best thing to do is to hold on to that friendship, to be there for that person. No, for anybody that does not have epilepsy or that is affected by epilepsy, all someone else wants is support. They do not want sympathy. They want your support, just to understand that they are going through a different journey than what you're going through. So when Heather and I talked, and I had said to her, I said, it has happened a little bit. Mm-hmm. I said, but before epilepsy, after epilepsy, when we got married, Curtis is my best friend, and we do everything together. I mean, if I'm like, I'm going to the grocery store, come with me. He's like, but he comes with me. I love to do everything with my husband because he is my best friend. So what I told Heather was, we were isolated a little bit in the beginning, and from everybody, it was just him and I. And what changed?
Well, the kids were there too.
Yeah, but I mean, like outside, even family, it was just him and I. And that was really hard in the beginning because we always, and for me especially, always had other people that I could lean on. So, and I had friends texting, family texting, but it's way different when they're like knocking on your door, coming over type thing, right? When we started to interact and go through this community, it has changed our days. The outreach of love that we get from this community, which is why we're so passionate about doing what we're doing on Information Lane, is because we never want someone to feel alone.
That's right. And that's what it helps the Heather Marks. It helps the Ashleigh Renees. It helps the Ashleigh House. It helps the Bryce Salmons. It helps all those people who are going through something. Enrique Willis. It helps Mike. It helps Curtis. It helps Ashleigh. It helps Rose. It helps all those people. You know what I mean? And just one little bit of negativity can ruin all that. So what's the point? When you see a smile on somebody's face, help add to it. Don't try to snatch half of it back.
And one of the other things I told Heather was, I said, maybe this was how God needed to replace those people in your life, because they weren't serving you the way that they needed to be serving you. Yes. And now the people that are in your life can help serve you the way you need to be served. Your cup needs to be filled as well. You can't always be pouring into everyone else's cup. Right. You have to let others pour into your cup. And so Heather and I pour into each other's cup all the time. And Rose and I pour into each other's cup all the time. So it's important to have those peoples. And that goes back to what Curtis said. He had people that always were there when he was needed, when they needed something from him. But as soon as the shoe was on the other foot, sayonara.
That's right. But that's just, like I said, that's God kicking those people out of your life. Like, everybody who was supposed to be there will be there. Everybody who doesn't need to be there will be removed. And like I said, it's for the people out there who struggle daily. Like, man, we're here for you. We love you guys. Hopefully what we do here is putting a smile on your face. Come join us. And if you don't believe me, look at the feed on Friday nights. We're a group of people who had never met in person before, except for Heather and Mike. I've never met anybody in person, but we have love for each other as a family, because when we were searching for something in the dark, we ran across each other and we walked to the light together. So that's what makes us family, not because we're blood. We choose to fight side by side.
And if you ever have someone that's going through suit up, trust me when I tell you, they don't want you to they don't want you to come in their lives and fix their problems. They just want a shoulder to cry on or a hug. Yeah. That's all they want. That's it. And that's how you can support.
That's who we are. I mean, that's why we exist, in my opinion, right? That's why we do these shows. We've turned around and we've made a whole life. This isn't even just we have like a little community club thing on Facebook. This is a whole life now. I mean, think about it. Okay, we know what we're doing on Monday night. We know what we're doing
Right.
at this. We know what we're doing. I mean, because it's part of our life now. And then the group,
Right.
we check it every morning and every day. And
right.
And that's how you got to stay with us. You got to join that Information Lane exclusive club. Then you get all the free information up front and first.
And like we've
love
talked
it.
about
Yes.
this oftentimes, someone's going to come across this podcast today, tomorrow, 3 years from today, and they're going to be going through the same journey that we're going through now. And we're hoping that this type of podcast will touch their hearts,
right.
and they can spread and share all of that goodness that we're spreading, because we want people to know there is a community out here
right.
that's here for you, and we're here to support you. We may not be in the same state as you, but we can still talk on the phone, and
Amen.
we can still talk on camera.
That's right. Hey, and then the best thing is no one's doing what we're doing. This slot, come join us on Monday night. Come join us on Friday, and you'll see what all the talk is about. Also, join in Thursday night, Power Sports, me, Mike, and then Reed kicking it like we're supposed to. But join in the conversations. You know what I mean? Come see what it's about.
Yeah.
We have a Friday night party for you, right?
Yes.
Like that's why we do Friday
That's
night.
It's
right.
an open forum.
Open forum.
A
Come. People
party
come to
for for folks who understand you going
That's
through
right.
what you're going through, probably on the same med you're on.
That's
So
right.
we are all here together in
That's
different
right.
stages of it, kicking
That's
it
right.
together. And that's why we designed it, is because a lot of us aren't able to drive. A lot of us aren't able to get out.
Till
A
we
lot
get
of
this
us,
Tesla.
just, the speaking of that and social, we're not going to a lot of parties on Friday nights, and that's okay.
Right.
We're just going to be real.
We're just
So
kicking
guess what? The coolest party on the internet Friday nights now happens for us. You know what I mean? And
That's
everybody's
and there's-
invited.
And then you
I have a lot
get
of-
Monday. So you get everybody. God took a day off on Saturday and Sunday. Took the weekends off. Now you tune back in on Monday, and that's when it starts all over again. The beginning of your week. We're ready to rock and roll.
I had a friend post on social media, and she said, "Oh, it's coming to the end of the summer, and I've watched all my series. People drop into the chat what you're watching, what you need, what are you watching this summer?" And so I dropped Information Lane on YouTube. There's a whole season.
That's right. That's
Let's
right.
go.
Get caught up.
Actually, yeah. This
Hey,
is
but I
not. We
wanna
need one
see-
more, and we have a season. Yeah, let's.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a season.
One more
Hey,
season.
I want to shout out Ashleigh Renee real quick. She's having a surgery this week, and Ashley's a part of our family. So everybody out there, please drop in the chat, say a prayer for her, throw up a purple heart. She's one of the strongest members in our community, and she's also our signer. So if you're out there and you're deaf, you have a hearing impairment, she's here rocking for you. So tune in. This show's for you also. Ashleigh, we love you. We're praying for you. If you guys need anything, we're here.
There's a lot of Ashleighs in this community.
That's right. Well, right now
They
it's called
are.
AAA. Ashley, and Ashley.
Yeah.
We're going to
they
have
are.
Curtis's Corner, and then we're going to have Ashley's
Avenue.
Avenue, or Ashley's Alley. One of the
Ashley's
two.
Alley. One of them things.
We're trying to figure it out. But either way,
That's
please
where
keep.
those dark conversations happen, stuff that you don't want to really hear, but you got to hear.
But keep Ashleigh in your prayers. She's having surgery. Hopefully the surgery will help ease the seizures that she's been having.
Right.
She's been struggling. July was a rough month for her.
Right.
So Ashleigh Renee from Information Lane to
Epilepsy
your
awareness, South Florida,
yes.
faces the epilepsy.
we're
Prayers coming your way.
praying, and all of our viewers, if you guys just drop the prayer hands in the chat right now, just let her know, let her feel your love, and she's going to come out stronger than ever,
That's right.
and hopefully have no more seizures.
And you got a community behind you. That goes for everybody out there, not just because we're behind Ashleigh. We're behind you also. So if there's something that you're going through, something that you need to get off your chest, this is the place to do it. I'm telling you right now, it's a stigma-free platform where you can be you.
Absolutely. And shout out to Ashleigh Renee. She's so wonderful as a human being. She's a single mom, works very hard, has a great heart, so consistent on the show. She does sign for us. It adds a wonderful dimension.
That's right.
She's so kind to everyone who reaches out to her. I know a couple of people in the community have spoke to her, and just she's wonderful and supportive and kind. And yeah, man, we wouldn't be the same. We wouldn't be what we are. Wouldn't be as valuable without her. So you
right.
take care, Ashleigh Renee, man. We value you. We appreciate you. You take care of that. She even said, send me a message. She's like, I'm going to try to jump in Friday. And I'm like, do not worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, please just rest.
And
You know what I mean?
Too,
Take
and
care.
she closed the show. Let me tell you, Ashley, you closed the show.
Well, she was on in the beginning. We just weren't. But we do also do a marriage thing with our church. It's called Anchored in Faith. So we were doing it on Friday nights, and because we were doing the co-hosting of the feed, we're moving it to Thursday nights now.
That's right. And let me tell you, this group that we're in is really working. It's called Anchored in Faith. It's through our church, and it's just a bunch of people who are looking for a Christian community to do things with, to go out, hang out, that we have something in common. And it's really working. We lead it. So let me tell you, it's automatically going to be one of the best groups that's out there.
But just to show you that someone with epilepsy can do something
do
like that.
Anything you put your mind to, you can't let it stop. And this the funny thing is, these people are strangers. When I have every seizure, they're the only people that reach out to me, and I don't even know them. But now I do, you know what I mean? So, but that just says a lot about the people around you. If you can't change the people around you, you got to change the people around you.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
he had his last seizure. I texted in our chat, and our Anchored in Faith chat, and I was like, can you guys just keep Curtis in your prayer? He just had a seizure.
And it was 60 text messages, emails. I mean, literally, the love came pouring out. It came out from Mike's, the Amy's, then Reeks, everyone, Karina's.
Yeah, and then I posted it in our group of our epilepsy friends.
And these are people that we've met doing this journey.
Yeah.
Not any of the people who I grew up with or any of the people who are around that I've sent a Christmas card to, Christmas gift, wished a happy birthday to. They didn't ever show up.
Right.
So when I blew out my candles this year, I blew out, the wish was, and I'm going to tell you what the wish was. The wish was to get rid of all the fake people. And look what happened. Information lane.
And that's something I wanted to touch on real fast, Curtis, too. Glad I got to ask these questions, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Something I wanted to address with our folks, man, is and it's something we don't address a lot because it just, I don't know, man, there's just a lot to deal with. But you're the dude, man, because you're the dude. You have the strength and the bravery. But
right.
A lot of people never talk about the post effects, man. And it's like we're sitting here a lot of times, we're angry. We're in a dark place, man. We're frustrated. You know what I mean? Why me? And I know it's poison to ask why me. Do not get me wrong, but man, it's sometimes it's gonna pop in to pretend like you're never gonna hear that question in your soul is a lie because you will. Now it's how you answer that question, right? But it's that dark place, man, and you're frustrated and you're angry and you're confused sometimes. And depending on the meds that you take, it's rough. You can take meds where you're like, I literally forgot. There's a TV show on. There's a commercial. I forgot what TV show I was watching until it comes back on. And then, you miss a dose and you go, oh, my memory's back. But, oh, now I could have seizures. You know what I mean? And then really from my memory. So this is a fun thing, right? So and there's that. And then there's being a man. There's being a husband. There's being a leader. There's being a father. There's trying to deal with the resources you don't have that other men have while you're still trying to be the best man you can. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And one thing you said a lot this week that really helped me and I think helped a lot of us is you kept saying this week, it's okay to not be okay.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And you kept talking about that. So, you know what I mean? If you could maybe, man, just, you know what I mean? Talk to us a little bit, man, because, I don't think there's a person out there with epilepsy or, consistent seizures who hasn't been through that dark place, man. And so, it's okay to not be okay. What does that mean?
It definitely is. When I say it's okay to not be okay, is you have every right to be heartbroken. Like, you can be let down. Disappointed. It's not the end of the world. When I say it's okay to not be okay, is you have to understand that even though you had a failure, it's like riding a bike. In the beginning, when you first started riding a bike, you couldn't stay on it. You kept falling off or running beside it, thinking you was doing something cool, but you weren't. Until you got on it, you actually tried. You kept getting up, you kept getting back on, you kept hitting them pedals, and that's what you have to do with epilepsy. Yeah. But it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel like your world has ended, but it's not okay to give up.
And it's not okay to wallow in it. You can have a bad day, but you can't have a bad week.
But you can't give up. And for me, it is the world for mental health. Mental health is everything. And it goes along with epilepsy because you feel like you're left out, you're left behind, you're in the dark. So, of course, you start living in your head. And for me, I lived in my head a lot. I was down to my last, I don't know what to do. But where I found strength was when I found my faith. I found my faith in a group of people around me that believed in me. And I understood that no one was coming to save me. So if something happened, I'm the only one that has my back. I'm the only one that has my family's back. No one's coming to help us. So that was a key in some of my decisions. And it gave me power to get up, get moving. Just like on Shawshank Redemption, I said last night, you get busy living and you get busy dying. So I got up and I started making moves. And it wasn't just for myself. It was for everyone who felt like they were in that dark place. I almost committed suicide one time. I had the gun in my mouth. I cocked it. It jammed when I pulled that trigger. And that's why I'm here with you today.
Praise God.
But I was at my lowest point and I had no one to talk to. So when I sat there and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed after it, I cried because I almost left this world early and I shouldn't have, because look, I got kids now that are successful. I got a grandson. I got a wife, best friends across the world. And if I would have pulled that trigger, I wouldn't have any of that.
You would have missed out on so much of his life.
I would have lost the jackpot. And a lot of people think the jackpot is money. It's not. Money is the people who are around me. They're the people who feel your heart. That's one thing people can never take from you. But this is another thing that happens when you get into people and you start loving people. You give a piece of your heart out, and when you give a piece of your heart out, you're giving it to somebody else. And when that person receives that piece of your heart, now they pass that on to their kids. So now there's generations of pieces of your heart who are out into this community. And that is what we're trying to do. That is what we support. Anyone out there going through something, when I say it's okay to not be okay, I mean that. If you're not feeling right, you deserve a day to where you can just sit back and relax. You deserve to be able to cry in a corner. If somebody needs to pat you on your back, I'll do it. If you need to go down the road with the roof open and the music up loud, do it.
And that's what I want to say too for the caregivers. When you're a caregiver for someone who has epilepsy and they're having a not okay day, it's okay for them. And it's not this is what I suffered with in the beginning, and I had to learn this. I wanted to make it okay. I wanted to make it better. And there was nothing that I can do, because I had to learn that what he was going through in his head was nothing I could fix. Right. I couldn't make him a cake and make him feel better. I couldn't love on him and make him feel better. I couldn't kiss and hug him and feed him and all of the things to make him feel better. He had to work through that himself. And all I had to do was be there to support him. And I asked, what do you need from me? And if he said, I just need to be alone and I just need to sit out on the patio, jam out to my music, then that's what I allowed him to do so he could get to where he needed to be.
When it's okay to not be okay, that means it's okay to not be okay. It's super simple. It's easy as that. Just listen to your heart. Don't listen to your head, because your heart will always tell the truth. Your mind will lie to you. And it's okay to not be okay. And like I said, I've cried before, I still do. When I write, that's what helps me. I write, lean into people, and that's how you'll start to heal. And don't never do it by yourself. That's one of those missions that you can complete, but you need help. And
what we've learned too in this community is when people aren't okay, it's easier to confide in a stranger than it is to confide in somebody you know. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because people won't confide in someone that they know because they're afraid of judgment. Mm-hmm. So when you confide in a stranger who doesn't know you, you know that you're going to get the support that you were looking for, because they don't know you. So what is to judge? So when someone reaches out, this is why we put this message out here. Curtis will always say, I would rather
listen to your story
then carry your casket. So when you're going through a hard time, morning, noon, or night, message information lane. Reach out to us.
And we're going to be the ones who reply. It's not going to be somebody sitting behind the screen getting paid to do it. It's Curtis, it's Ashleigh, it's Mike, it's the community.
Yeah.
If you get something from one of us, it's legit, it's original, it's guaranteed. You can stand on business with it, because this is what we do. It's not who we are. This is what we do. This is who we are. This is the world to us.
Yeah, every life matters. And so when you're going through something, message us either on our Facebook, our Instagram, on TikTok, however you can get to us. You can message us in different avenues. We have so many DMs from people through Facebook on our epilepsy page, Epilepsy Awareness SFL for South Florida. So there are ways to reach out to people when you are not okay. When those suicidal thoughts and depression go through your head, reach out to someone. I see people posting all kinds of epilepsy groups all the time. Today's not a good day. I don't want to do this anymore. I immediately message those people because they need to know that someone is there for them, and they let them spill it out. That's sometimes all someone wants, is someone to listen to them.
That's right. Lean in, tell your story. And like I said, if you don't tell anyone, no one will ever know.
Yeah.
It's okay to not be okay.
It is absolutely okay to not be okay. And thank you so much for sharing that, man.
Thank you for asking that question. That's been sitting on my heart, and I really want to get that out there to the people. And you really asked the right question, Mike. I tell you what, you do a great job.
Just carry the weight of the world can be hard, and having somebody like you share with us is it's just so important, and it definitely ministered to me this week. So thank you for that. Also, you have a producer, so you've made it. Anytime you get a producer, you're like, I have a producer. I'm doing all right.
We talked to some people. I was talking to somebody at work the other day, and I was telling them about a podcast that I do, and I was talking to my producer, and they're like, wait, you have a producer? I was like, yeah, we have a legit producer. He lives in Oklahoma. He's also epileptic.
Right. His wife is Amy. She's amazing.
I'm like, yes, we do a podcast. I go, in fact, between my husband and I, we do 4 a week. And they're like, wait, what? I was like, yeah, so I won't be at this job forever.
That's right. And hopefully we'll be in your sitting next to talk some positivity into you, because that's what we're all about. We want to make sure that you're positive, you're confident, and you have the education and the awareness to get out to your communities and start helping people. Like, it's free to help. Yeah, it's free. It's free to be kind. That's all you have to do is be kind, and it's free. That won't cost you anything.
So we're coming to the top of the hour. I just want to kind of wrap up with ways you can find
by the way, it is free also to like, share, and subscribe everywhere.
That's right.
Information Lane.
Yes.
Information Lane. Just search Information Lane. You'll find it. Subscribe to it, and it will change your life. Like I told you earlier, we're real people having real conversations that are changing real lives.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get left out. This train is moving. If you don't get on board, we'll see you at the next stop. Everyone has a seat. All you have to do is sit in it.
Yeah. So some ways you can like, subscribe, and follow us is on Rumble, YouTube, and Instagram. We are at Information Lane on all 3 of those channels. On Facebook, we are Curtis Lane. I'm Ashleigh Markland Lane, but on our epilepsy page, it's Epilepsy Awareness SFL, and that stands for South Florida. I've had some people ask me what that means. Just because it says South Florida doesn't mean you can't join. That just means where we're located
at. If you're in the Florida area, we'd love to do work with you. Now, we can't get every state right now, but when we get there, we're coming to see you. But if you're in Florida and you want to reach out, you have some outreach programs, you want to just have us speak, please reach out and talk to us, because that's what we're here for.
Yeah. And then you'll also see myself and Heather Marks posting a lot of stuff from here until October 21st. The Purple Pumpkin Project.
Get on board.
We are partnering with K-Dubs Crusaders, and it's going to be a worldwide, well, for United States. Next year we're going to do worldwide, but it's going to be an event that we are hosting in every city.
That's right.
And if you keep scrolling, Mike, you'll see one of the Purple Pumpkin
projects.
Right there. Yep, there it is. And it's on October 21st, which is also Suit Up Action Day.
That's right.
So
shout out to Heather and Bobby Marks for starting this movement. Let me tell you, it's been amazing.
Yep. So just before Epilepsy Awareness Month, which is in November, this is a great way to kick off that. So stay tuned. If you're interested in hosting an event in your city, please reach out to myself or Heather Marks, and we will do the research. We will help find the foundation or sponsorship that you might need to do so.
And also, we want to shout out PT Podcast, man. This thing is amazing. This is the best platform you'll ever find. You want professional quality work, this is where it's at, man. PT Podcast.
So we are taking no more clients right now. Sorry, no. No.
So come on the show. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, so there's just a bunch of things that are happening. We're doing all kinds of goodness throughout the community, and we just want to make sure that you are a part of it. And
that's right.
Like I said, if you feel like this video, this podcast, this platform is going to help someone else that you know, you're watching this and you know a coworker or someone else or a friend that's dealing with this or just found out, share this. That's sharing is caring, right? So like, comment, subscribe, share.
That's right. And if this conversation just reaches one person, it was a success. And let me tell you, we're hoping to reach more than just one. And if this really set in you, it feels in your heart, please come join us, because this is what we're here for. We need you to come.
And what we also ask is to leave some feedback. We would love your feedback on any avenue. You're watching a short video on YouTube, if you're watching it on Rumble, just leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought of the clip. Right. Let us know what you thought of this episode. That just helps us and bring more information to the community that maybe you want to know.
And also, just because we're asked the questions, those questions are for everyone. There's questions out there for everyone. So if there's an answer that you have out there, we want to hear it, because you just heard mine. I want to hear yours.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Let's definitely talk about it. So, yep, there's Information Lane. You can see the videos are one, the shorts, and the shorts are kind of like Instagram. When you on Instagram, they're little reels. So we drop those on Instagram daily. We drop them here on YouTube on daily.
Rumble, we're here.
So look at that. Showing the Information Lane t-shirts.
I love that.
Show them shirts.
Information Lane.
Yeah, let's go. Hold on. There you go.
Right.
Gotta get it done again. Let's go.
Yeah, so there's so many ways to get connected, so many ways to pass on the information. We're going to have some really special guests. We've reached out to some other platforms of epilepsy people. They're going to join us. I've reached out to a couple neurologists, doctors, some epileptologists. So stay tuned for all of that. I can tell you definitely for a guest that we're going to have on October 15th, there's a place called Safe Places Miami.
Day before my birthday, that's my wishes for you to tune in.
It's Safe Places Miami, and they do human trafficking, and they save women, and they do all of these things. And we're going to help them, promote them, so that more awareness in the community. That's just what it's all about. So October 15th is going to be that, and I'm not dropping for next week's because that's a big surprise.
Oh yeah, we got a surprise for y'all next week, so you definitely want to tune in. Let me tell you, it's going to be one of the ground shakingest conversations you ever hear in your life, and it's going to be one you don't want to miss. And I promise you that you ain't gonna want to miss it.
Yeah. So before we close out, Curtis is going to take us out in prayer, like always. If you guys could take off your hats, bow your heads, and let's get to it.
All right, here we go. Heavenly Father, we ask for your protection against these battles we cannot always see, and the enemies that move in silence. Surround us with strength, wisdom, and peace when fear, doubt, and darkness try to take a hold. Give courage to those facing unseen struggles. Protect every person living with epilepsy, every caregiver, every family, everyone carrying a heavy burden. Remind us that we are never alone to fight. Help us recognize the silent battles, respond with compassion, and stand together with faith and purpose. May we be the light in the darkness, a voice for the forgotten, and a force for the hope and healing. Together we stand, together we rise, and together we overcome. Amen.
Amen. Thanks for joining.